This is exam review from Algebra 1, Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is all about linear equations, writing linear equations, graphing lines, finding the x and the y-intercept and the slope. There are 3 formulas that we worked with in Chapter 5. All are important. All will be given to you on your final exam, but you should be very familiar with them. I would make sure that you get them written in your notes right now. They are the slope formula. The slope formula says that m, slope, is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if we have 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, we can find the slope between those 2 points by plugging them into the formula. A formula that you should be very familiar with, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. M is still slope. B is the y-intercept of the line where it crosses the y-axis. Point slope form, y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. M is slope, x1, y1 is one of the points on the line, any point on the line. Again, these 3 formulas will be on the final exam for you. You need to know how to use them. Every problem on the final exam, we are going to review here over the next several class periods. The problems we are doing today are all of the problems from Chapter 5. So numbers 1 to 2 ask us to graph the line. We're graphing the given line. And in number 1, our equation is y equals 1/3 x plus 5. Y equals 1/3 x plus 5. If we think through slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. M is slope, so I need my slope to be 1/3. And b is y-intercept. I need my y-intercept to be 5. We always graph the y-intercept first. Our y-intercept should be 5, so we need to cross the y-axis at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put a point right there. And we need our slope to be 1/3. Slope, remember, is rise over run. Rise over run. So my rise needs to be 1 and my run 3. Rise is 1, run is 3. Rise is 1, run is 3. And we can graph several points. If we need more points over here, let's go ahead and fill up the whole graph. Down 1 and left 3 would lie on that same line. Down 1, left 3. Down 1, left 3. And we've got all kinds of points, plenty of points, so that we can draw a good line in there. Probably should go through those points there. That's not a perfect line, but... Number 2, same type of problem, asks us to graph the given line, y equals negative 3x plus 1. Y equals negative 3x plus 1. So we should have a slope of negative 3 and a y-intercept of 1. Slope is always next to the x, mx plus b. We always graph our y-intercept first. Our y-intercept should be 1. It should cross the y-axis at 1. Our slope is negative 3. Remember, negative 3 is the same thing as negative 3 over 1. So I'm going to go down 3. That's my rise. Right 1. That's my run. Rise over run. Down 3, right 1. Down 3, right 1. Going up 3 and left 1 is on that same line. Up 3 and left 1. And again, we can draw our line. So the first couple problems ask us to graph the line. Question number 3 is where we start writing equations of lines. This one asks us to write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that has a slope of 5 and a y-intercept of negative 2. So y equals mx plus b, there's slope-intercept form. Slope is 5. Slope we plug in for m, so we have y equals 5x plus my y-intercept. My y-intercept is -2, so plus -2. Plus a negative, we can write that as minus. And that is our answer. Y equals 5x minus 2. Number 4, again, asks us to write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line. This time they don't give us the slope and the y-intercept, but they do give us a graph, so we should be able to figure out what the slope and the y-intercept are. So y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. In this case, my y-intercept is right here at -5. And slope, to find the slope, we want to think through rise over run. So my rise is up 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have this point here, I have this point right here is where I'm trying to get to. So my rise is up 4, because it's up, it's positive. And my run is over 1, 2, 3. We are thinking through y equals mx plus b. M is slope. In this case, 4 over 3. X plus b. B is -5. Y equals 4/3 x minus 5. Number 5, still writing an equation of a line, but again, they give us different things. They give us the slope again. They tell us the slope is 3. This time they don't tell us the y-intercept. They tell us that the point passes through, or the line passes through the point -2, 9. Write an equation for the line that has a slope of 3 and passes through the point -2, 9. We are again asked to write our answer in slope-intercept form. Because we don't know the y-intercept, we don't want to start with slope-intercept form. We'll get there. Our answer needs to be in that form. But I know the slope and I know a point. So if I know a point and a slope, we would go back to the top of the exam and find the equation for a point and a slope. This is point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. So that's the first thing I'm going to write down is our point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. M is slope, so I'm putting 3 in for my slope. And x1, y1 are the x and y values of the points. So this is x minus -2, minus -2, and this side's going to say y minus 9. Minus minus next to each other, we can change that to a plus. And we have an equation of the line. Unfortunately, our answer is not in slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals something. Y equals mx plus b. So I need to get y by itself. So we're going to start by distributing this 3. So I've got 3 times x and 3 times 2. Positive times positive is +6. And then to get y by itself, I need to add 9 to both sides. And I get y equals 3x plus 15, which is the equation of our line. Question number 6 asks us to find the slope in between two given points. Find the slope between the points -3, 2 and 6, -4. Find the slope between the points -3, 2 and 6, -4. We have a formula for slope. Again, it is going to be given to you on the exam. Slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I would go label your points. This is the x value of the first point and the y value of the first point. The x value of the second point, the y value of the second point. So now we can plug in where things belong. y2 is -4 minus y1. y1 is 2 over x2. x2 is 6 minus x1, which is -3. Again, I do have minus minus here. So the first minus is because of this formula here, x2 minus x1. So that's where I get this minus. And then x1 is -3, which is where this minus comes from. Minus minus, we're going to change that to a plus. -4 minus 2 is -6. 6 plus 3 is 9. It asks us to write our answer in simplest form. The first thing we want to try to do is just divide. 6 divided by 9 does not come out even. So when that's the case, we want to try to reduce the fraction. 6 and 9, I can divide those both by 3. -6 divided by 3 is -2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. My slope is -2/3. Number 7 of 8. We've got 2 more to do here. Number 7 asks us to state the x-intercept and the y-intercept of the given line. Find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. This equation is not in slope-intercept form, so I can't see the y-intercept right now. If it was y equals something, we could get the y-intercept, and we could get the slope. We couldn't get the x-intercept from slope-intercept form. To find an x-intercept, we plug in 0 for y. And to get a y-intercept, we are going to plug in 0 for x. So to get my x-intercept, I'm putting 0 in for y. So this is going to say -8x plus 6 times 0 equals 24. Well, 6 times 0 is just 0, and -8x plus 0 is just -8x. So the y's go away there, and I can divide both sides by -8 and solve for x. 24 divided by -8 gives me -3. So my x-intercept is -3. To get the y-intercept, we do the same thing, but we plug in 0 for my x. If I put in 0 for my x, this would be 0 plus 6y equals 24. We can divide both sides by 6, and we get a y-intercept of 4. Our x-intercept is -3. Our y-intercept is 4. And finally, number 8 gives us an equation with x and y on the same side. This is called standard form. It's not one you need to know the formula for. But I've got my x's and y's on the same side, and it asks us to rewrite this into slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form, again, remember, is y equals mx plus b. So we need to get y by itself. I need to solve for y. -4x plus 2y equals 18. So I can solve for y. I need to move the 4x over first. So I've got -4x, so I want to add 4x to cancel out that -4x. So I've got positive 2y equals 18 plus 4x. Well, remember we usually write the x first. So let's do the positive 4x first. And then I've got positive 18, so plus 18. 2y equals 4x plus 18. Remember, we're trying to get y by itself. I've got 2 times y. I can get y by itself by dividing both sides by 2. When you divide, you need to distribute the division just like you distribute multiplication. So I need to do 4x divided by 2 is 2x, and 18 divided by 2 is positive 9. Y equals 2x plus 9.